Hey, Jerome, have you noticed how in our line of work, the topic of saving money seems to come up more often these days? Especially with the way things are going, people are really feeling to think about how they can stretch their dollars.
Undeniably, Neil. It's like everyone's waking up to the fact that saving isn't just about putting money in the bank. It's about being smart with how you manage your finances throughout the year. It's interesting to see how some simple changes can really make a difference, especially in a place like Canada where the seasons can play a big role in your expenses.
Exactly. And I think it's worth sharing some of the strategies that we have seen work for others. Those little adjustments that people have made, like tweaking their thermostat settings in the winter or maybe even summer for their AC, setting aside a bit of their paycheck before they even see it. These aren't groundbreaking ideas by any means, but they have helped people get ahead in ways they didn't expect before.
That's so true, Neil. And speaking of which, there's also some great tools out there that can make saving easier, especially for first time homebuyers. I'm thinking of things like the tax free savings account and the first home savings account. These aren't just your typical savings accounts, they've got real advantages that can help people grow their savings faster.
So let's break it down a bit. I remember talking to a client who decided to review all their monthly subscriptions, streaming services, gym memberships, those little things that add up. They realized that they were paying for stuff that they barely used. After canceling a few subscriptions, they found themselves with an extra few $100s each year. It wasn't a huge change, but over time, I'm sure it makes a difference and a real impact on their savings.
It's those small changes that can really add up. Another one I've seen is people who make sure to pay themselves first. I know it sounds basic, but one of the oldest tricks in the book for a reason. Setting aside a portion of your paycheck before you do anything else can really help build that savings cushion without too much of an effort.
Yeah, and when we talk about tools like TFSA or the First Home Savings Account, it's about giving people the means to maximize their savings. I had a client who didn't realize that the TFSA isn't just a cash account. It can hold investments like stocks, bonds, and mutual funds too. That light bulb moment was huge for them. Suddenly, they were thinking long term about growing their money, not just stashing it away.
That's a great point. And with the first home savings account, I've seen a lot of first home buyers who didn't even know it existed. Once they understood the tax benefits against their income, they were all in. Also, if you use only a portion of the amount when you do buy a home, the rest can be transferred over into an RRSP. So it's really about making sure people know what's out there and how it can work for them.
And it's not just about these big tools, right? Even simple things like buying energy efficient appliances, or as simple as using a clothesline in the summer to cutting down on subscriptions that you don't use. Those small adjustments can free up cash that goes right into savings.
Exactly. And let's not forget another strategy that doesn't get talked about enough: adjusting your tax withholdings at the source. A lot of people don't realize that they can reduce the amount of taxes you pay off your paycheck and contribute directly to an RSP. Not only does this save on the amount of taxes you might pay, it ensures that your savings are earning interest sooner, which can equate to thousands of dollars over time. And it also helps you build your retirement savings at a much faster pace.
Exactly, and it was a light bulb moment for me. I didn't know that such a strategy could be implemented. So, if you're getting a bigger tax refund every year, that's money you could have, it could have been earning interest on in an RRSP instead of letting the government hold on to it. By lowering your taxes at the source, you are essentially paying yourselves first in a whole new big way. Plus, you may reduce your overall tax burden anyway, so it's a win win.
Yeah, and the best part is You're putting that money to work for you right away. It's not just sitting around waiting for tax season, being used by the government and other places. You're already ahead of the game by the time your tax return rolls around. These are the kinds of strategies that can really help people maximize their savings and take control of their finances.
Plus, they get to dollar tax average their investments as well because they're not making all their investments at once.
Mhm.
So when you start stacking these strategies using programmable thermostat, paying yourself first, adjusting your tax holdings, and leveraging those savings account, you're really setting up yourself for success. It's about being proactive and finding every opportunity to put more money in your own pocket rather than someone else's. So, for everyone listening, maybe the takeaway here is to start with what you can control. Look at your thermostat settings, check out those registered savings accounts, and maybe take a second glance at where your money is going each month. And if you're not adjusting your tax withholdings to benefit your savings, now might be a good time to look into that too.
And it's never too late to start. Whether you're looking to save for a home or just want to make sure you're getting the most out of your income, there are plenty of strategies out there. And hey, if you're feeling stuck, Neil and I are always here to help you figure out the best path forward.
Absolutely.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the second half of our episode of Getting Your Shit Together. How's it going, Neil?
I'm just good, Jerome. Super pumped for today's topic because we're going to dive into something that's a lot of people are worrying about how to pay off what's mostly like a very huge mortgage and how to be mortgage free before retirement.
Wow. Being mortgage free is a huge financial milestone and can be a big relief. But for the many, it might seem like an impossible dream. But here's the thing, it's not just a lofty aspiration, it's entirely within reach. Let's break it down for our audience and show them how. With the right strategies, kind of like the ones we discussed earlier about savings, achieving mortgage freedom is not just possible, it's absolutely doable.
That's right. Whether you're someone who's just started your mortgage journey or you have been chipping away at it for years, we've got some actionable tips to help you accelerate that payoff and reach mortgage freedom sooner.
Let's kick things off with one of the most straightforward strategies, something that a lot of homeowners overlook: increasing your frequency payments. Neil, what's your take on this?
It is a simple yet powerful strategy, Jim. Think about it. If you can squeeze even an extra 100 or maybe $200 into your monthly payment, you're not just paying down the principal, you're cutting down the interest that would have been paid on it for months or maybe years to come. It creates a snowball effect which can shave off years of your mortgage. For example, suppose you have a $500,000 mortgage at 5% for 25 years. Just increasing the monthly payment by $100 once eliminates about 18 months of payment and effectively reduces the interest rate to about 4.34% instead of the original 5%. That's a net interest savings of about $26,000. Imagine if you can increase your monthly payment $100 each year, or maybe even a couple of times through the life of the mortgage. Better yet, calculate and find out yourself. The results will motivate you. However, there is a word of caution. Be 100% sure that you can sustain the higher monthly payment, as most lenders will not allow the payment to be reduced back to the original amount during the remainder of the existing term. If you're not sure, take baby steps, increase in small increments, and get comfortable before increasing further.
Exactly. And for those who might find it hard to consistently increase their payments, another great approach is to switch to bi-weekly accelerated payments instead of monthly ones. Neil, want to break down how that works?
Sure thing. Instead of making one payment every month, pay more often and slightly higher. to be exact, about 8% higher by switching to a bi weekly accelerated mode of payment. It might sound like small change, but here is the kicker. You end up making equivalent of 13 monthly payments in a year instead of the regular 12. That extra payment goes straight towards your principal, helping you pay off the loan faster and saving on interest costs. Imagine the same $500,000 mortgage at 5% for 25 years. Applying the strategy to that mortgage will shave off about 42 months of payment, or in dollar terms, about $59,000 in interest costs, effectively bringing down your actual interest rate to about 4.24%. Tell me that's not worth the 5 minutes it took to listen to us. Isn't that cool?
Oh, that is amazing. It's like sneaking in an extra payment without really feeling the pinch. Undoubtedly, this is a method that can have a significant benefit of savings on interest over the life of the mortgage. Here's another strategy that might be timely as we enter this coming rate reduction cycle: refinancings to a shorter term. Now, this isn't for everyone, but if you can handle the higher monthly payments, then shortening your amortization or repayment period can save you a metric ton in interest costs as well.
Right. It's a balancing act. Your monthly payments remain high, or maybe they go up, but you're out of debt a lot sooner, and the interest savings can be substantial. Plus, if interest rates have dropped since you've got the current mortgage, refinancing could be a win win.
And for those who occasionally come into extra cash like a bonus at work, a tax refund, or an inheritance, or maybe even a lottery win, you can use that windfall to make a lump sum payment. How impactful can that be, Neil?
Tremendously impactful, Jerome. Lump sum payments go directly to your principal, meaning you're cutting down on the amount of debt you're paying interest on. Even just one or two of these payments over the life of your mortgage can make a significant difference. For example, using the same $500,000 mortgage at 5% for 25 years, if one makes a lump sum payment of, say, $50,000, they will shave off 52 months of payment. I will say again, 52 months of payment. That's almost 4.5 years of payments. And that's a saving of over $100,000 of interest costs by effectively reducing your interest rate to 3.12%. Isn't that out of the world?
This is crazy information, Neil. Uh, and it makes me so glad that we're here to share these secrets with everyone. Here's another strategy that's a bit more advanced, but equally, if not more powerful than what we just described: the Smith maneuver. This is a mortgage conversion strategy that allows homeowners to pay down your mortgage faster and build an investment portfolio at the same time. Neil, do you want to walk us through this one?
Yeah, let me try to do that. So, one of the nuances of the Canadian tax system is homeowners are not able to claim tax reduction on any interest costs that they may pay for their primary home. They only get the benefit of not having to pay the capital gains on the sale of their primary home. At least we enjoy that benefit for now. While there have been rumors of the Liberal government tinkering with it, no announcements have been made to date. Sorry for digressing, Jerome, but I could not help it. Let me come back to topic. As I was saying, Canadians do not enjoy tax reduction on interest costs on their primary home. And this is where the Smith maneuver can be a game changer. This is a loan conversion strategy which essentially replaces the mortgage on your home with an investment loan. This strategy not only accelerates the mortgage repayment, but also helps you invest in assets like stocks, bonds, or even real estate. The beauty of the strategy is that it can generate meaningful tax refunds each year, which can then be further used to reduce the mortgage balance. In essence, the nature of the debt changes, but you will still have a debt obligation on your home. though it transfers to be a good debt if implemented properly.
So, really, it's like hitting two birds with one stone. You pay down your mortgage faster on one side, and you build wealth simultaneously on the other. If you're serious about becoming mortgage free while still growing your investments, the Smith maneuver is definitely worth exploring.
And that brings us to cutting expenses and redirecting savings towards your mortgage. It's all about prioritizing your financial goals. What can folks do here, Jerome?
Well, kind of as we mentioned in the first half of the segment today, you look at your budget, and there is always something that you can trim. Whether it's eating out less, canceling that gym membership, as Neil mentioned earlier, cutting out a subscription that you have forgotten about altogether, or just shopping smarter. Every dollar counts these days. And when you redirect those savings into the mortgage, you're essentially investing in your future freedom.
Exactly. And for those willing to make a more drastic change, downsizing might be worth considering. Maybe you are an empty nester, or your current home is more than you need. If so, selling and moving to a smaller place can free up a good deal of cash to pay off your mortgage faster and also reduce ongoing monthly expenses.
It is a big decision, but for some, it's the right one. And let's not forget about generating additional income. Whether it's picking up a side hustle, freelancing, or even renting out a part of your home, that extra cash flow can really speed up the process.
Exactly. And all these strategies boil down to one thing: being intentional about your money. And if you're serious about paying off your mortgage early, it might be worth considering or consulting with a financial advisor as well to develop a tailored plan.
A good advisor can help you maximize your resources and set you on the path to mortgage freedom. So, Neil, any thoughts before we wrap up?
Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about that Lodomax ad, the one where the dream coach keeps telling the viewers to dream bigger. It's a powerful message, and I think it really ties into what we have been talking about today.
100%, Neil. The idea of dreaming bigger isn't just about winning the lottery, it's about pushing the boundaries of what we think is possible in our own lives.
Yeah, and exactly. And it doesn't need to be just about mortgages. And so, if you have been thinking, I want to be mortgage free, but it feels out of the reach, I will tell you, dream bigger. You're not just working towards paying off your mortgage, you're working towards financial freedom, peace of mind, and the ability to invest in life you truly want.
Yep. Maybe it's that dream vacation home, starting your own business, or retiring earlier than you thought possible. Whatever your dream is, don't be afraid to reach for it. With the right strategies and a little persistence, you can turn that dream into reality.
So take that Lodomax advice to heart. Don't buy a lottery, but push yourself to think beyond what's possible. Dream bigger, act smarter, and watch as you turn those dreams into your everyday life.
And remember, we're here to help every step of the way. So keep dreaming big.
That's a wrap for today, folks. Thank you for joining us, and we will catch you next time on Getting Your Shit Together.